Yes, hi Zulu.
Yeah, how's it, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
All is well, man. We can't complain.
Yeah.
If we complain, then what then?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I want to know, Zulu, is it your real name or is it a name you gave yourself?
Zulu is a name I got from when I was in South Africa. They thought I was a real Zulu. But yeah, I behave like a Zulu.
Okay.
So I visited in South Africa when I was young. You know, these school tours, you go to South Africa, and then I had a small conversation with a Zulu auntie, and she thought I was Zulu, and then, maybe I'm a Zulu, but then I thought, okay.
So you kept the name?
So I kept the name when I was young, since being young and until today.
Yeah.
I'm called the Zulu Boy, I think, yeah. And also, apart from that time, I used to listen to a guy called Zulu Boy.
Oh, okay.
He's a South African artist. He also played movies. So he also inspired me and also his journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got to get in the industry and also just to relate more of who Zulu Boy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your real name? Do you prefer going by your real name or do you prefer that?
If it's business, it's my government name,
Okay.
Phineas Shikulo.
Okay.
But mostly people know me as Zulu Boy.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Zulu Boy, you get me. If you're looking for Phineas, you struggle. Who's Phineas?
Who's Phineas?
We don't know who Phineas is.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you say you are Zulu, it's him.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of things that you do and that you're known for. Especially how I came to know you is through Gweri Vintage.
Yes.
So you started with socks.
Yes.
And then you moved on to designer
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
And also you're an artist.
Yes.
I think I saw one of your arts
Yes.
before.
Yes.
Because you do on canvases, you do
Yes.
on pictures.
Mixed media, yes.
Everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And also you're also in the film
Yes.
industry.
Film industry,
director
yes.
and all
I
that.
have a studio. I quite do a lot of things simply because it's things that I love, and it's things that blends with myself as a person. I'm a visual art student, graduate from University of Namibia, so I did quite a lot of mediums. When we at university, we were introduced to many mediums, whether it's fashion design, whether it's advertising. So that's how everything falls in place. And also growing up doing music, everything just falls in place. So that's why I just said, okay, well, if I'm doing this, then why can I not allow everything just to fall in place?
Yeah.
And the question I'm always asked is, how do you have time for everything?
Exactly.
Well, it's a routine like how everybody has time for everything. I mean, I always give this practical example. People go to the gym, they go to work, they go clubbing, they visit their family. It's the same
thing.
So when you go to the gym, I try to place those hours into something. Like I do a film. Recently also we opened up in a studio, a film, videography and studio. So all these things that I've done or I'm doing is part of who I am as a person.
Comes naturally to you.
It comes natural. I mean, I've been a photographer many years ago. I used to take pictures of
Is that how it
weddings.
started?
Well, it was part of my journey because at the end of the day, I also needed to survive, you know. So when I was at university, I was a photographer, and I studied photography also. So at the end of the day, it all comes in and it blends in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to start on the business side of things because, especially in countries like Namibia or Africa, when you try and mix arts or creativity with business, it's a little bit difficult because it's not your common thing that you see, right?
Indeed, it's a very tough. We live in a very tough country, I should say. But also, we always tell people, as much as we complain, as much as we need to make opportunities. Opportunities are there. But you need to make you find ways out. That's why you look at my plate. I have so much to do because so that if one fails, then the next will provide bread on my table.
Yeah.
So unfortunately we're in a country like that, and I know it's very difficult. A lot of people have been doing things and didn't work. So that's why I always try to do what have so much on my plate, so that at least if this doesn't bring in bread, there's something else to bring in bread. That's why I have all that I do.
Do you see yourself as a businessman? Could you call yourself as a businessman?
I'm a creative. I'm more of a creative, and then money just comes in place.
Yeah.
Well, where we come from, I'm named after a businessman. So, what the notion in an African aspect is, once you are named after somebody, you are somebody.
You become
So,
a businessman, yeah.
I am a businessman,
Yeah.
of course, because I also have a lot of business. I have a few businesses, but at the end of the day, I call myself as a creative,
Yeah.
and also as a businessman.
Yeah,
If it has to come to those terms.
I think both business and creative, it's kind of like the same thing, because
Yeah.
the core for business is
Yeah.
to create a service
Of course.
that serves people,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So mostly the best business is if it comes naturally to
Yes.
you, because I think with you, it's you then try and jump into something else that that's mainstream. You
Yes.
kind of it comes from inside.
It comes from inside.
and
It
it's
comes
sort
from
of
my
like-
surrounding.
Yeah.
I don't need to do so much to do something. It comes naturally. I don't need to force things to do it unless I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So everything comes naturally, and everything is from me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I think most people have an issue with taking that creative side
Yes.
and putting it into something that actually serves people.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I think with that statement, sorry to cut you out.
no.
I always like to, when you have,
yeah.
I'm triggered to have more.
no,
to
that's
think
how the
more.
creative mind
Yeah.
unites, how it
So,
works.
what do you ever? I even forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so I'm saying
I got carried away.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of take your creativity and then shade with people.
Oh
for the
yeah.
business,
Oh yeah.
business.
I think for me how it works is it's about self-love. It's about understanding myself. I come from in a place where people would laugh about what I'm wearing, but that gives me confidence.
Yeah.
So it's more about confidence. That's what I always tell people. Wherever you see me, I have so much confidence because I believe in myself. And even if somebody come and tell me you are not the best, I always tell myself I'm the best.
Yeah.
So whatever I do is confidence. I think confidence plays a big role in a lot of things. If you look at a lot of businessmen and leaders and politicians, it's confidence they have.
You start with confidence.
Yes, you start with confidence and believing in yourself. Because if you self-doubt, then it can't work. It's more like if you are doing something, you're like, I don't think I can do it. You want
It's not
but
gonna
for
work.
me, it's about, yes, I can do it. I want to do it. I will do it. And then it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they say those who say they can't,
Yeah.
and those who say they can,
Yes.
they're both right.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because it starts with you.
Yeah.
How did the idea? Do you think? I think most of the time, I mean, I was thinking it's like with businesses, it's really not the idea that you have, but it's almost like the effort that you put and the
Of
passion
course.
that you bring into the
course,
idea.
of course.
How would you say? How did the idea of Gweri Vintage? How did that start?
Well, as I said, everything aligns with me. I loved colorful socks, happy socks. Then after loving colorful socks, it was a conversation between me and my partner, and we're like, oh man, why can I not come up with
Your
what I
partner in
like?
business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my partner is business. What can I not come up with something that I like? Started at the festival, Kasibai Festival. That's where the dream was born. I had the stall. So what I used to do is I used to sell other people's stuff. I used to sell socks that belongs to other people.
You used to sell people's socks.
Yes.
Really? How did?
Yeah, so
how did?
it was crazy because people loved. It was a new fashion trend, and people, how people love things.
So you would get people's
I'll
like
go to
my
stores.
socks.
Yes, I'll go to different stores.
Okay.
Get colorful socks and sell them.
Okay, then you sell them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's more of it. And then from there, we saw a gap that there is an opportunity here, and we went for it. And that's how the brand, and it got crazy. And then people noticed the passion that we had, and that's how we ended up giving back to this beautiful brand.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of just passion, and we just decided, man, we went on internet. We didn't even have a supplier that we trusted. We went online. We said, whatever, if our money goes down, if our money disappears, let it disappear. So also it was a risk taking. What I've learned through my journey is I take so many risks, simply because the more it has risk, the more you are scared.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah, and that's good. You are very scared to
How
be
is
like,
it?
yes.
How is being scared good?
It puts you in a very uncomfortable position, but keeps you focused
Okay,
because you are not relaxed.
I see.
You are enticed, like, hey, you must do it. You must. If you don't, if it fails, then it's a
Like you
problem.
need to move.
Yeah,
You feel like you need to
it's
do
scary.
something.
You don't know what to expect, but it's a good feeling. So also, once you win, it's one of the best feelings because you never expected it to happen. So it gives you it keeps you more enticed. So yeah, and that's how we started. We started looking for suppliers here and there. We started doing designs, and then it was crazy. People were running. They always wanted to fight me if I don't have
Really?
stock. And then that's how companies started to notice what kind of element we have in our business, and that's how we started working with corporates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of young people who actually have a desire to start a business. You know, a lot of them you meet. It's like, no, one day, you know, when I finish up school, you know, most of them, even when they're working, their goal is sort of like to start an actual business for themselves. You know, but when you're looking at people who have started business from afar, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, but like you, it's like you have kind of been in the thing. So you have
I
a lot
have
to
been
say,
in the
right?
thing since when I was
Yeah.
young. When at
Yeah.
home, I
Yeah.
used to sell mangoes back home.
Yeah.
Mangoes in the street.
So you know the game.
I know the game. I
Yeah.
know how to
Yeah.
maneuver.
Yeah.
I sell well in the streets because
Can I give you my sort of structure?
Yes.
Because like obviously, I mean, there's if you want to simplify things, I think for business to actually be successful,
Yes.
I sort of broke it down into three basic things. So I just want to see if you know it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have like the first one. It's kind of like the story. Business needs to have a
story, of course.
You know, because like you could sell coffee.
Yes.
It sounds simple because most of the time people want to create businesses that sound sort of like sophisticated.
Yes.
You know, but you could sell coffee
Yes.
and still make, you know, still be big. You know,
Yes.
like Starbucks,
Yes.
KFC, they just sell chicken.
Chicken.
You know, simple
Yes.
things. You know, but the story behind the thing,
Yes.
that makes it good, right?
Definitely.
The second one is like the marketing, because a lot of people, they, you know, you can be very good, you can be a good songwriter, a good
Yes.
painter, but no one knows you, you know. And the gift that you have is for people to use.
Yes.
But if you have something and you're not sharing it, I don't think you grow like that. So marketing, I think it's how do people get to know you exist, you know? And the last one is like the capital.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people say you do not need money. I mean, okay, you wouldn't say money necessarily, but you do need resources
You need
to fund
You
your
need the
business.
money. You need the
You
money.
need the money, exactly.
You need the money.
So on the story,
Yes.
if we start with story, how do you think, if I have an idea, okay, let's start with the idea.
Yeah.
How do I know if my idea is good, or could I basically choose any idea to start?
Well, it depends on how you want to tell your story. You can't say a story is not good.
Okay.
It's about how you narrate your story.
How you tell the story.
Yes, how you tell the story.
Okay.
So every story is correct. There's no wrong or right story. How do you narrate your story? How do you influence the people on your story? As I'm saying, I just created socks that were there already. But I had the story of, I wanted to tell a Namibian story through the socks, whether it's landscape, whether it's animals, whether it's people, whether it's money, whatever, whether it's the colors. So my idea was, how do I tell a different story? How are we different? Even if you see my pair of socks in America, people should ask and find out, who is this? What does this mean? So there's no wrong or right answer, wrong story. It's just how do you narrate your story.
How do you narrate, and the belief you have in
And the
story.
belief in you have
Confidence.
In your story.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is the emotion in your story?
Yeah.
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 So even with whatever I create, there's always an emotional part of it. For instance, even the name Gweri, it comes in two forms. One is a guerrilla fighter. Back in the days, the guerrilla fighters were called Gweris.
Okay.
In short, Another scenario is when you are Gweri, it's like you are not cool in the community. So if you're not cool, you're called a Gweri, like you don't know things. So at the end of the day, I want to be a Gweri. Yeah,
You don't want to be cool.
Yeah, no.
Is that a reverse?
A reverse, but
see,
at the end of the day, once you're a Gweri, you are a more humble person. You understand? You are down to earth. You are not, you don't submit to a lot of things. You don't do a lot of things that the society wants you to do. So once you're a Gweri, people won't mind you. If they don't know about you, they won't mind you. But once you're a superstar, then you have a problem, you have a shine. So at the end of the day, also was just to unite people. I mean, we come from a society where people feel certain people need to be more valued. But also, the idea was also just to bring unity. Whether I agree or not, you must wear my socks. You understand? So it's a unity. It's a thing of how can I bring the people together to be as one? Not by color, not by language, because also sometimes we go through communities where you are identified. When people always ask me or see me, they don't see me as a Vambu. No.
Yeah.
They see me as a Namibian because I represent everyone. Whatever I wear, whatever I put on, whatever I speak, whether I don't speak their language, I try to blend in. Every community I go in, I always blend in. Yeah. Whether it's my attire, whether it's how I speak. Even as I'm saying, I went to South Africa for the first time. They thought I was Zulu. I was never Zulu. I don't even speak fluent Zulu. But I only had to learn how to greet them.
Yeah.
And then the lady's like, you are part of us. You are a Zulu boy. So at the end of the day, it's how do you blend in a community? That also helps you in a story because people must relate to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think every story is important. It's just how do you maneuver it into everyone. Everyone must understand you. Don't make it complicated. Make it very easy for everyone to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. On the marketing side of things,
yeah.
How do you get your thing to people? Like, what do you think, if you were to give steps, what do you think is the first step?
Well, we are lucky right now. We live in a different world where we have social media. Back in the days, probably was very difficult. But right now, the power of social media is you can do so many things. Even through posters, even through activations. So there are so many ways. As I'm saying, I sell well on streets because I can go with my socks right now in the street and I'll sell. That's why and when I'm in the streets, I have that passion, which please buy my socks. Please support me. Support your fellow brother.
Yeah.
Support your fellow Namibian. That's the message that I put it in the street so that even somebody is buying must feel, which I need to support this guy. So it's about even pushing yourself like, yes, let's do it, buy, support, whatever. And you mustn't be afraid. So marketing is a way that you must make sure that you are not afraid to approach anyone. You're not afraid to approach anything, whether it's social media. As I'm saying right now, we have so many ways of doing so. I don't want to go into how to market in social media, but I'm sure that a lot of people might know or do research. But all I'm saying is that the best way is go on the street. People must understand and must understand your pain. That's the way forward.
Yeah, but your personality is sort of like out there, right? But what about that? Some people that
push yourself.
Are you sure?
Business is not for the shy. Business is not for the. I call it's not for the weak.
It's not for the weak.
You must push yourself. As much as you are uncomfortable, that's what I'm saying. You need to be out of your shells.
It's a good feeling to be.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to be out there and you're like it's a mess. It's a good feeling to be out of your shells. So even with me, sometimes I get uncomfortable, but I need to make myself comfortable to move. And it's not, the days are always not the same. Some days are rough, some days are tough. People always ask, this guy is always happy, does he not have problems? I have a lot of problems, I have a lot of million problems. But I can't put my
show it.
the show must continue.
It's not necessary.
It's not about the problems. It's no emotions must. And I always when I have conversation with people, it's always about emotions. Business is not about emotions. If I have a friend that passes on today and I have $1 million deal to close, I'll go close $1 million business. I'll come cry. I'm not being ruthless. It's just
Yeah.
I need to make a living. At the end of the day, I go cry, then tomorrow I'm in the street. Do you understand? It doesn't justify. At least let me go close off the deal, and then I can help my friend.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, business is not a, it's not easy. It looks simple, but it's not easy. But also you need to be ruthless.
Yeah.
But also you have to be human. You have to be a human being. You need to find the balance. So there's no really, let's say, steps that you must follow to be a businessman. It's about how can you move around. For example, a client comes and complains about business, about your business. You can't tell the client dead in a rude way. You need to calm the client. Like, listen, what is the problem? I know you guys are treating me bad, your services. They say, oh, I understand, I apologize. You put the client and make them understand, okay, I apologize. What was the problem? Can we solve it? Do we refund you? No, I don't want to refund. Okay, then if we don't refund you, what can we do for you? Oh, no, I can. You guys can do this. Okay, great. We'll come, we'll bring you with coffee. At the end of the day, you must
managing people. Right?
Yes, you must entice the people and find a way to apologize, also in a human way. But also, that's what I'm saying, you need to make sure you don't have emotions in business.
No emotions in business.
No emotions in business.
So if you're an introvert, you should push yourself.
You need to push yourself. As I'm saying, no emotions. We all go through things, and we are all different. But I mean, if it's time to work, it's time to work. It's time to work, it's time to work, and there's no excuse in working. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to push yourself and you want to be the best of the best. You can't be the best of the best if you don't push yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to push yourself and make sure that, yes, I want to do it. Yes, I have the passion to do it. But you are like, today, I'm not good to it. It's okay. Then the business will also be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like business, it's almost a way to grow as a person as well.
Yes.
You know, things you weren't comfortable doing, you're sort of like forced to now.
You are
now
forced.
do it,
Definitely, you are forced. Sometimes also like I don't want to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, like yes,
Yeah.
you have to
You
go.
know,
If you
every
sleep,
single
then
day.
who's gonna give you the money?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like right now, in my kind of businesses, if I'm not there, if I cannot work, I cannot make money.
It's how it is.
That's how it is. Because a lot of also some of my businesses are startups. So at the end of the day, you need to put in the work. You need to show up. If you can't show up, then the business will also be like this. End of the month, the landlord is calling me. I need to pay the bills.
Exactly.
Then I'm like, hey, what must I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. On the capital, the money resources side of things.
You need the money, but I always tell people, use whatever you can use. As we started, we also didn't have a lot of money, but it kept on building. People saw the vision. And also now, as I'm saying, the world has changed so much now, where you can sell your shares or joint venture with someone to put capital together. Of course, it's about trust. Of course, it's about making sure you get the right person to work with, having this same vision. So things have changed now, where you can get partners and all that. But I'm just saying, money is needed, but also just start small.
Yeah, if you're starting, let's say we're starting something now, right? Obviously, we have a good story. We, go sell on the streets, to start basically, just simple, right? Maybe post on social media and all that. We have a bit of capital, so we're running the thing. But now the thing sort of like needs to grow. The next step, is it like approaching sponsors or investors? How would you take it?
That is the best way to go. But I always say it's best to understand the groundwork first before you go to sponsors or an investor, because you need to understand your baby first. It's more like having a child, and then after the child is born, you take it to someone else to take care of.
Yeah.
So you need to be with the child for a year or 3 or 5 years, understanding the child, how the child is. Then you can look at all those kind of things. The first process is always difficult, to be honest. Starting a business is the most difficult thing. But of course, investors are very needed. Sponsors are also needed, but sponsors cannot There's no one that can give you money if they don't know what they're investing into. That's the sad part about business. So at the end of the day, you need to drive and grow yourself to a level where people can see what you're doing. Because no one will give you money just like that. Who? From where? Maybe from Dubai, I don't know. But obviously, when they're giving back, they're giving you their money.
Needs to see a return.
They need to return back their money.
Yeah.
So all those kind of things takes in place. But that's why I always say, fail first. Fail. Let the business fail. Then that's how you start to become a real businessman.
What would be the motivation to go to a sponsor? Is it because you need more money?
More money, of course, more money, more visibility. Some businesses need more visibility. Probably the sponsor that you are looking for needs just visibility or doesn't need so much money. It can be in many ways. It depends on the business. But I always say you can't go to people looking for help if you can't help yourself. You first need to help yourself. And when you can't or you have done helping yourself, then that's how you go out and look for sponsorship. As I said, no one will give you money just because they want to give you money. They need to believe in you. They want to believe in you. Oh, are we giving you 5 million now? You don't look like they can give you 5 million.
You don't look trustworthy.
You don't look trustworthy. And I always tell people also, your visual, wherever you go, you must look presentable. Whatever you do, you must be presentable. It helps a lot in business. Because at the end of the day, people want trust. People want to trust you. People cannot just trust you. You are coming from wherever, dressed funny. No. No.
Personal
Unfortunately,
image.
Money looks for where money is. Yeah. Money, if there's money at a certain place, it will look for money.
Okay.
It's more like when you have money. You know that when you have money, there's more money that always comes. When you start becoming broke, money doesn't come. I don't know how
it's funny,
I don't know how it works, but yes,
it's just how it is. Yeah.
So money attracts money. That's what they say.
Weirdly enough,
When you have money, it will attract you, and it's true. Because if you can't have money, then it's difficult. But also, as I'm saying, we live in a very difficult country, not world, but country where you have to do a lot to make it. But I always tell people, hey man, what can we do? Let's just push.
Yeah.
When your time comes, it will come.
Yeah.
No matter what. If your time is coming, it will always come. Yeah.
What inspired you to get into the fashion, design and everything like that?
I think it's my surroundings. All the people I grew up with are very interesting people. Whether it's my family, whether it's my friends. And for me, I just like to look nice. I just love to look different. I always just want to make a statement of what I'm wearing, because at the end of the day, if you can pay attention to me, which means I'm doing something right. So that also helped me to market and advertise, and also helped me push a few things, because if you see me that I'm colorful, then you spot a few things. Oh, this guy's socks, this guy's what. Then you go, oh, where did you buy this? So in a way, it's advertising. It's like a walking billboard. So, but also clothes makes me feel nice. When I wear something, that I love, it makes me feel nice. So it's more of self-love and self-appreciation when I wear certain things. It just makes me feel good, Yeah.
When was the first time you had your first drawing or first piece of art? When did you draw?
Kindergarten. Kindergarten.
When did you start realizing that, the stuff I'm doing actually looks better than the other
earlier stage? Very young, I used to draw. Very young. I used to draw, but I don't think it was that serious. I went to primary school. I used to love drawing. When it comes to art classes, number one. I made sure. When I finished my high school, it was a bit challenging because I had to move from the city to the north. So it was very challenging because there you're not exposed to a lot of things. And that's how I decided, okay, I'm going to dance. Then we create dance.
Okay.
I move into dancing. We create a group. From dancing, we create music. So it was another way of how to express myself into something else. Because there must be a way. I must find ways. And then finishing high school, coming back to university. Well, I thought I was also IT guy. You know, I had some technique. I'm very good with computers, whether it's fixing and stuff. I thought maybe, oh, this is my calling. First year of doing an IT course, I was like, this is not me.
It can be
It
brutal.
cannot be me.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to change course. I had to do an art course, and I was like, yes, this is my calling. And that 4 years was like a week, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing art. I
Yeah.
enjoyed helping others, helping them. Because my biggest, what do you call? My strength is more about helping people. If um, if you ask people, have a conversation with people around me, I'm more a giver. I give more. I like to give. Whether it can be anything, it can be money, it can be advice. I would rather want to help someone first than me. So, but also my upbringing, we come from a house like that. So at the end of the day, my father will always do something for someone before him. So all those things come in role. When I was at university, I think I was the only one that was a student head for 2 years in the history of that department. There have never been someone, because people just loved my energy. They just loved me, and I also just love people,
Yeah.
you know, and also just to help them. So I think that also played a role, and also it plays a role in my success. My success is not about me; it's about my community. It's about me and my people. Whatever I do, whatever project I have, there's always people around me. There's always people in my circle that will do work together. There's no day where I do things myself. So through my journey, I've always carried people around, and people have carried me. So that's also part of success or business ethics, because at the end of the day, you need people to be close to you.
Yeah.
If you're even studying a business, I mean, people need to support you, people need to watch you, but it has to be a community that you need to build. Then from there you can, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Hello, hi, how are you?
I, so with it's like it feels like your business is linked to strongly linked to your passion, right? But it's almost like with when you're starting something for the first time,
Yeah,
especially if it's something that you're passionate about,
yeah,
it's almost like at the first you feel really passionate, really motivated, excited and everything. And as soon as it keeps on going and going and going, because when you start, you think like the benefits are just going to show up
yes,
tomorrow, right?
yes,
But then maybe it takes a bit longer than you thought it would.
yes,
And, it's kind of like that energy dies a little bit. Now you need to rely on other things like patience
yes,
and discipline and stuff like
yes.
that. Did you have
Of course, it's
any of
every
those
day, my
moments?
brother. The problem is when the money is slow. The money is coming in
Yeah,
slow.
yeah,
But boss,
yeah,
you'll be patient. I don't want to lie to you.
yeah, yeah. Are
I
you
don't want.
forced to be? Are you? I mean, obviously you're forced to be patient,
Well,
but
it depends now. It depends on circumstances.
yeah,
Some circumstances you need to find other ways, but some circumstances allows you to be
just
relaxed. Like you can't do anything.
yeah,
If
yeah,
the client is telling you, I don't have money right now, what are you gonna do? Are you going to fight him? So you need to be patient.
yeah,
And I like why you bring that up, because as I've started businesses, some people even are asking me right now, why do they feel some businesses are going down? It's not that are going down. It's just the fact that there is need of capital to run all the projects. That's why sometimes, like for instance, now we closed up the shop so that we can save up money to do other projects where we open up a studio. Now the studio is gonna run its own. Then we also now bring push Gweri again to where we wanted Gweri to be. So at the end of the day, you allow certain businesses, you bring them in, allow them to grow, leave them grow, and then you come back to whatever you wanted to do. And it's that's what I'm saying. It's not an easy thing, because you remember the money, you need to shuffle around, find what can work, what cannot work, uh, what business can you do that can generate fast money. Um, so that's why you need to gamble, yeah. And a lot of businesses do that. I mean, we
yeah,
have multi-millionaire businesses that also do that.
yeah, yeah.
So It's just how do you find ways and to balance things.
Yeah.
It's about balancing. Yeah. But you need to be patient as a businessman. You need to be patient. As much as you are aggressive, you need to be patient also. You need to understand that this money sometimes goes and
And
sometimes comes
sometimes it
back.
comes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the season. Sometimes it's winter,
Yeah.
sometimes it's
It's
summer,
I mean,
sometimes it's spring.
the practical example that I can give of before COVID, we had big businesses, and after COVID, multi-millionaire businesses died just like this.
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself, man, yo, I think I'm doing something right. And these people they
Yeah.
had people that were 1,000 people were working for
Yeah.
them.
I mean,
And then you have like a business that 2 3 weeks is shaken. You're like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were there any times in your business where, like some major achievements that you can look back and say, like, this has been.
Every win we make, we celebrate. That's what I'm saying. For me, I'm really, to be honest, I'm grateful for where I am today. I'm grateful for the short period of time what we have achieved. I mean, we are not a business for 10 years experience, but if you look at our journey as a business or in my business that I've done with my partners, it has done a lot that some companies will take 10 or 15 years to go. But because I think it was about just to put in the hard work. Um, but we are grateful. On my side, I am super grateful for where I am today. A lot of people would not have achieved this, but I am grateful because in a short period of time we have achieved. I mean, I've worked with big brands, big companies, and companies still want to work with me. It's the biggest achievement. Where with other people, it was a struggle. They took 10 years or so much, many years to get the sponsorship and all that. But for me, uh, I think it was before getting to know them, it was putting in that hard work. So starting to pay off as time goes on.
Yeah.
But the struggles are there every day. We go through the struggles. We go through financial struggles every day. We go through some structures that are not working. We go through some ideas that are not working. So it's an everyday thing. But all I'm saying, as a business owner, I am proud of what I have achieved and where I am today. And hopefully it also inspires other kids wherever they are, whether they are from my village, whether they are from my community. They must look at it as a success. As a young Namibian black child, it's a success. They must also look at it and carry on. When we do these businesses, it's not to show off. It's to show that it's capable. You are capable of doing. If there's a mole there as a black child, we come from communities where people undermine ourselves. In black communities, let me be specific. We undermine ourselves like, you can't have a shop in the mall. Only certain people can have because we undermine ourselves. But I mean, look at we had a shop in one of the
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
mall in Namibia. Um, that was an achievement. And I also just want to emphasize our people to start embracing all those achievements because I'm not opening doors for myself. I'm opening doors for you. I'm opening doors for everyone. That if Zulu can have a shop in Grove Mall, why can you not also have a shop in Grove Mall? So we need to start celebrating all these moments together as a nation so that it also uplifts everyone who is starting to do a business. Tomorrow there might be a young boy from the north that wants to start a business. So we do these things just to show the kids, to show everyone around that it's possible. It's possible to work with any company. It's possible to get sponsorship from any company. So this is always just more, and that's how I always emphasize that it's to show people that yes, we can do it. Of course, we can do it anytime. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice. It's
yeah.
nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. If you were to leave, I mean, like, if you were to go back to the point where you first started
Yeah.
a business, so there's a lot of skills that people want to learn,
Yeah.
business skills,
Yeah.
right? So what skills, if you had to choose three skills that you would say are
I
very
think
important?
negotiation skills. I think skills to sell. I'm very good at selling. So I'm saying I can sell anything. Even right now, if I need to sell this phone right now, it will take me an hour or two. This phone must be gone.
Yeah.
I must find a way. But also when you do this kind of skills, you must be motivated to do it. As I'm saying, there is no anything you can do. You need to be motivated. You need to push yourself. As much, even if you're a great speaker, but if you don't have confidence, you can't be a great speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with sales is about, for me, my greatest point is sitting down with the person and telling them what this thing can do, what my product can do. That's what I can do. I think that's what people can learn from me. I think, yeah, I'm good at
Ne-
selling. Yeah,
Negotiation
yeah,
skills and
negotiations. Yeah,
selling skills.
yes,
Those are very important.
yes,
Very important.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there something you would want to leave people with?
Um, I always wanted to tell people, one day when I leave, people don't like these conversations. You leaving us? I'm not leaving. I'm just telling you the truth that
Yeah, yeah.
we need to support each other. We live in a very tough times, where people are starting to do things, but there's no support. Whether it comes from the private sector, whether it comes from the government, I always tell, let's support the kids. There is so much skills that are in our country. People have skills. Our country has so many people that are well equipped with skills. Let's tap into those kids' skills. There is so much we can do. We are talking about how can we revive our country and how can we revive our economy. We can only revive our economy through skills. And for me, why I'm saying that is because it has worked for me. The formula has worked for me, and it works. Take a practical example. If you go to Komboni here in Katutura, trust me, a month, a million can circulate in that place. It's a complex where there's so many skills stuff, activities happening, where there's cars, branding, whatever, fixing cars, doing joinery, all this kind of thing. Trust me, $1 million can circulate that. But as a nation, if we can have more of those opportunities, trust me, we can go far as a nation. So let's just support one another. I know it's not easy, but if they support, we can make things work for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also believe in yourself. I know there comes times where you are like, I want to give up. It's about self belief, and start now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Go have these things. I'll just start selling fat cakes tomorrow. Just start now. I know there's no capital, but the earlier you start, the more you start to see what you can do and what you cannot do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I
nice.
think that's some few words I can do. I can do.
Okay. Thanks. I mean, thanks for actually making the time
Yeah.
to have this conversation.
Yes.
I think there's one thing if I would want to say with you, it's like, especially stuff like arts and the creative,
Yes.
a lot of people want to do stuff like that, but also there's not people to sort of teach them, people that have actually been in that space,
Yes.
to show them. And I think with you, it's like you have been in a lot of different,
Spaces.
spaces, especially in the
And it's
creatives,
important. It's
Yeah.
important for you to learn and grow. That's why it's also very, very important to travel. It's important to be in different communities. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm fortunate and grateful that I grew up in different communities, whether it's in the north, in Venduk. So it allowed me to see how I can express myself into different
Yeah.
communities. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for you, it's like if you would consider doing something like a mentorship program
Yes.
specifically for that
Yeah.
space, I think it would be really like beneficial for
Okay.
people in that thing. Yeah,
I would
if
want
it's
to do something
something you
like that.
should
Maybe one day when I have a lot of
consider.
money.
I mean, it's not now, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, you could, capital is important,
Yeah.
but the if it starts as an idea,
Yeah.
obviously this is something that you have explored, right? But if it's something that you try and think of doing, I think a lot of people would benefit from doing
Of
that.
course, I would
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to do. There's so many projects I would want to do.
yeah, yeah,
As I said, I want to invest more in skills development because I think there's a big gap there that we need to as much as we talk about agriculture, you need skills to do agriculture.
Exactly.
As much as we talk about manufacturing, you need skills to do.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff we are sitting right now is skills.
It's
The
skills.
clothes that we have is skills, but we don't focus on that. We want to focus on other things. But where the money is here.
Exactly.
So probably I would want to one day get myself into a program like that, where I can also mentor a few people here. But also, I think the program has already started. It's just that I don't know that it has started.
It has.
Because
Exactly, yes.
why I'm saying so is because whoever I see, I always pull along and assist and go further.
Yeah.
So I think the program has started already. It's just that I need to pay more attention and doing it more often. Because if I see a talented someone, I always try to push whoever it is. I always try to bring them on whatever I do. I always try to push them opportunities there. So I think the mentorship program has started. It's just now to emphasize more on it and see how I can.
Or you can
help
take
more.
it forward.
Yeah.
No, sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
Sure.
All right.